So I'm a big fan of anime, and in the last year or so, I've watched probably more slice of life than I've watched any other genre. I've watched some before this last year, but this is kind of where I watched the most, and I feel like I've watched enough to kind of give a very good recommendation of at least my favorite 5 and just 5 great slice of life anime that you all might enjoy. And I won't have any actual spoilers, just some quick synopsis of the shows, but nothing spoilery so that you guys can still go watch it if you haven't. Starting off with number 5 on my list, Anohana. This is about a group of close friends that drift apart after the death of one of their closest friend members. The main character starts seeing this friend, which leads to the group reuniting. But is who he is seeing real, or is she a ghost, an illusion? It's very interesting, kind of a mysterious feel to it, but with very heartwarming moments. Number 4 on my list is Gamers. This one might have been my favorite, but there was something missing. Not just because the anime hasn't gotten a second season yet, but there's like an element missing of what makes a perfect show in my eyes. However, I absolutely loved it. The last episode of the season was a bit disappointing since it was just kind of a fan service filler with no real context. But the first 11 were great slice of life, centered around students who love video games, and I love video games, so I kind of resonated with that. And these students still are just kind of filled with drama. This show might as well be called Misunderstanding the Anime. The amount of misunderstandings that just lead to heartache and anger is just so funny to watch unfold. But yeah, the show is just absolutely great. Number 3 for me is Sing Yesterday for Me. This was almost number 1. I love the melancholy vibe to it. It isn't over the top like a lot of slice of life romance anime out there. The character is very relatable, and though a few things were predictable, and maybe that's what kind of made it fall short for me, I just love the calm nature of this one, and it has such a very satisfying ending. Just overall a great show. Fairly short, but I don't know, it's a very cozy show as well. Just loved it. Number 2. Now this one was almost number 1, and this is Kaguya-sama Love is War. Honestly, all 5 of these could have been number 1, but Kaguya-sama was just number 1 for me for the longest time. What Kaguya-sama does better than any other slice of life that I've seen is the comedy. It's so freaking funny without trying too hard, and some moments can be over the top, but the lighthearted nature of it is so great. The plot is very well written. It's nothing too crazy. It's a student council president and vice president kind of having feelings for each other. The other one doesn't want to confess to the other, so they're always trying to scheme into making the other one fall and make them confess their love to the other. It's just so great. It's so funny, and the way it's presented is probably the most unique than any other on this list, and the narrator just kills it in his delivery. All in all, it's the perfect rom-com anime, and the only reason it isn't my number 1 is because I stumbled upon this next one. Before I get to my number 1, some honorable mentions. Just gonna name a few real quick that I also really highly recommend. Devil is a part-timer, recovery of an MMO junkie. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, Hyoka, My Dress Up Darling, all great anime. Now, my number 1 all-time favorite slice of life anime is Real Life. I actually only saw this one a few months ago, but to me, it's just the perfect slice of life to what I want in a slice of life. The main reason I like it is because of how relatable the situation is. Our main character is struggling being an adult, and he gets the chance to live 1 year as a high school student to learn to appreciate life again. I feel like us who are pushing 30 or are in their 30s can relate to the idea of wanting to refresh our perspective and redefine our meaning or purpose for life. And the idea that his memory will be erased from everyone he meets in this year as a 17-year-old gets pretty heartbreaking the more he connects and befriends his fellow classmates. All in all, it's just very emotional, and looking at it from somebody that's in that same age group that he is in kind of really hits you hard when you yourself might not be in the place that you wanted to be in life as far as a career goes. And yeah, it's just very, very easy to watch. The characters are great. They're very lovable, except for one of the characters that kind of annoyed me. But overall, great show. It's a great watch, and I highly recommend it. So those were my 5 favorite slice of life anime of all time. I'll have maybe more lists about other recommendations. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.